Dudes and dudettes, welcome to the final week of Cycle 4 of 2016, also known as Week 23. Man, we are really cruising through this year. But this week, we're going to have even more Daily Max records to put on the books. And we're also going to have more struggling with the strict overhead press, which I actually think maybe due to going to super failure with the race to 40 on the shoulders every workout, because that's what I've been doing for the past like 3 or 4 weeks. You know, every workout I do shoulders, race to 40, but only the final 3 days of the week do I do anything else race to 40. So this week I actually changed it up where I just do like straight sets of 4x10 for the shoulder. That's also a little bit in preparation for what's going to be Cycle 5, which is going to be more of a straight sets approach to my volume work. And here you go. You can see the god-awful strict overhead press. Man, that is just terrible. But hey, when I was making the thumbnail for last week's video, I noticed something interesting. It was one of those things where you kind of like just notice, like when you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, I'm fat. You see on the right there, you got my current face, which looks a lot fuller and not so, shall we say, skeletal as the face on the left, which was at the end of the diet. Like I said, it's one of those things when you see yourself every day, you know, you don't always notice the changes, but this one was rather stark, I thought. So anyway, you remember last week when I did the max deadlift attempt, and I was saying I was having trouble holding on to the bar. The grip strength is a big issue because it's a fairly glaring weakness that I currently have. And you know, I said that if I get up to like 180, as I'm hoping to do in the next few years, I'm gonna have to be deadlifting somewhere around 500 pounds. And if you can barely hold on to 375, you're not gonna be able to hold on to 500, right? So I made a couple changes to start working on the grip issue. One of those was I wrapped a little something around my chin-up bar to make the diameter a little bigger, because that'll make the grip having to work harder. It's kind of like a thicker bar, if you will. And I also decided to start weaning myself off of straps. When I was doing my volume deadlift work prior to, I was using straps for quite a bit of the sets because it was either, you know, ripping the hands up pretty good, or, you know, I was having trouble holding on. But clearly I need to, you know, work the grip harder if I expect it to get better. So I'm going to start, you know, doing like 2 sets with no straps for a couple weeks, you know, and then, you know, after that do like 4 sets, and then finally do my all 6 sets of my deadlift work without straps. I am, of course, curious as to why the grip has become an issue now, because way back when I was on the weightlifting team in college, did not ever, as I recall, have a grip problem. That was never the limiting factor, if I can recall correctly. So of course I'm trying to think, why is that? And there's, you know, a couple of reasons come to mind. One is, you know, I'm not 20 anymore, which probably explains a lot of things. Another is, you know, we never use straps, so even when doing volume work, you know, we never use straps. We did use chalk, which can be helpful, but as you might expect, I'm a bit hesitant to use chalk in the house because it does make a gigantic mess, and you know, that's kind of a issue in the house as opposed to when it's at the gym and you don't have to clean it up. But one other thing that I think may be causing a problem is that I've got some pretty good elbow tendonitis going on in both elbows. It's actually golfer's elbow, not tennis elbow. And what I wonder is if my brain knows that something is wrong at the elbows and does not allow me to apply full power through the elbows in an attempt to prevent any worse damage. So that could also be another contributing factor. Whatever the actual reason ends up being, doesn't matter. I'm going to try and work on it and improve it. So during volume bench here, I managed to completely lose count of where I was, and when I rewatched it on video, I ended up doing 44 reps instead of just racing to 40. So a little extra work this week on the bench. And here we have a new pause squat daily max on deck, 272 half. And that's pretty much right up, no problem. I'm starting to think that a 300-pound pause squat is not too far away, but we're not going to rush things. We're just going to keep, you know, cruising along as usual with small increments each week. And as usual, you know, bite that elephant, or I should say eat that elephant one bite at a time. And as you can see, I got tired with almost missing 135, you know, twice a week. So just like with the behind the neck jerk, I switched to smooth doubles with a lighter weight for my daily max on the strict press. And moving along to Tuesday's workout, which, because we started this week on a Friday, actually ended up being hump day. Oh yeah. This hump day didn't actually end up being as great as the previous hump day, but that's okay because it still ended up pretty good. So we opened up with a new daily max record on the squat of 317.5, which felt heavier than that 335 the other week, but that's okay. You're not going to have 100% every single day. But that's okay because we just steal that line from Tony Horton and we do our best and forget the rest. Oh, by the way, I learned this day on why Olympic lifters don't do bench pressing, and it's because when your chest is sore and tight from a workout, it's very difficult to get your arms up and behind your head, which I think is the proper finishing position for the OHP. As you saw, I had just a little bit of trouble with that one, but we still got it. Oh, a little note here, holding daily max deadlifts at the top for a few seconds. Why? Gotta work that grip. Yeah. And moving on to the final workout of the week, we get to open up here on the front squat with a new daily max PR of 222.5. That's pretty awesome. We're about to hit the infamous 2 big boy plate lift at some point soon, so that is excellent. I'm going to leave this as somewhat cryptic, but there's some potentially bad news that came up this week, so I'm actually going to save talking about it until it becomes really relevant. And speaking of not always having 100% available, it's a good thing I did 182.5 earlier this week because I'm not sure why I missed that there, but these things happen, right? Like I said, you guys forget the rest. So pretty much going to be wrapping this week up, guys. I'm on a plane later today, so no video next week because I doubt I'll be able to film where I'm lifting. But that's okay because we'll still be lifting, and that's always a good thing. And before we get to the next clip, we are going to say boo to the blurry camera because I still don't know what's up with that. But anyway, guys, we always finish up with dodeca mother. I will see you guys when I see you, probably in 2 weeks. You guys have a great one. And since this is the end of cycle 4, we need to update our daily max PRs. As you see, I've added the overhead press daily PRs to the list. So we're doing the upper body on this first screen. And as you can see, we did pretty good on the bench, making like 5-pound gains on everything. And for the lower body lifts, we've made 12.5-pound gains on the squat and pause squat, and 7.5-pound gain on the front squat. And we're adding the deadlift, both the conventional and sumo, to the list, and we'll be updating from here. And the volume update for week 23 as compared to week 22, we are up quite a bit, and that's because we actually did volume sumo deadlifts this week, unlike last week when I maxed them and was like, yeah, I'm not doing the volume after that. Total volume for the year, we are almost at 2.75 million pounds. Sweet. And the big news on the 2016 goals update, we are at a nice round 5,000 chin-ups for the year. That was actually unplanned. It just happened that there was 1 week where I did an unusual number as compared to my usual like 214, which, let me tell you, does not divide evenly into 5,000. Everything else pretty much the same as usual this week, so that is good. And the metabolic update for this week, I was actually trying to pull out some calories because when I travel, let's just say there's like peanut M&Ms in the house where I stay, and that's just tough to withstand, shall we say. So that's actually the data I have for this week. It's incomplete, but it's all I'm going to get for this week because I'm leaving on a plane. So like I said, I'll be back in 2 weeks, so you guys stay safe till then, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.